Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the one and only, the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-champion, the multi-world champion, a legend and icon to the Call of Duty scene. Give it up for Patrick Price Aches. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer over in Kitchener here at COD Champs Day 2. Give it up for Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, how we doing? How we feeling? COD Champs has been fucking crazy. Sam, we'll start with you. What's going on, Sam? How you doing,
Nothing.
Sam?
Bad.
I know, Sam. You're not doing that. Maybe I should have started with somebody else. Chris, let's go to you first. We'll get back to you, Sam. Chris, how are you doing, Chris?
Thanks,
You doing better
I'm good.
than Sam?
I'm great. Lots of upsets. I'm not mad. This weekend has turned out to be completely unexpected. I can't wait to see what this goes because there's a world where we have multiple teams in the grand finals that, one, we didn't expect, and two, maybe have never been in a grand final, let alone a champs grand final.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we'll see. There's still a lot to be played, but shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Pat, how you doing over there, Slayer? You doing all right, Pat?
Great, Tom. This is honestly one of the better days so far this summer for me. I got the order confirmation for my Flank merch. I did receive some Flank merch, so it's a great day for me, Tom.
I love that, Pat. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the merchandise is out now. I see the link being spammed in the chat by the mods, but ZOOMAFIA.gg, get the merch while you can, folks. The Champs drop is live, so if you guys want to cop some merch, get it while you can. It's a phenomenal plug there, Slayer. What's going on with you, Benjay? You doing all right, Ben? You doing good?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been sitting on this couch for
you look slumped over there.
hours.
Yeah, you're looking slumped over there, Benjay.
I'm on the end of my day. I've been here since 11 ish. I mean, it's been a little bit more people showed up today. Not enough still. Hopefully, the crowd on the weekend is bigger. But
yeah,
this is the craziest champs I've ever seen. Who would have predicted a Boston Optic winners final? Like, bro, like.
Yeah, this is actually feeling amazing. Fucking crazy, bro. Like, this is nuts. We're going to talk about it. We got a lot of games to talk about here today. But before we do hop into some of the games, I see Doug Sensor Martin in the chat too, man. Let's go, Doug. Doug said me. He predicted this. Man, Doug, man. Maybe Doug's never wrong, bro. Maybe he's just early, like the Slayer. But shout out to Doug Sensor Martin, bro. I know he's going crazy at home, man. I know he's going nuts with Boston making this run. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for tomorrow. Even though I won't be there, Ben will be hosting the show. Dylan Attach will be taking my spot. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow. So I'll be watching from my phone tomorrow. But I will be back for Championship Sunday. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. You guys can throw some tomatoes, some booze, bro. Unfortunately, it's just bad timing for me, man. Bad time. I'm a family man, chat. You know that. I'm a family man. But let's take a look here. Before we get into the 4 matches today, I do... Did somebody just
what was that?
Did somebody
Chris,
just...
Was that
Chris?
That was not me. That was not me.
I
Chill.
just got PTSD for a second.
It was me messing with the mic. Sorry about that.
Did you just take a shit live at a flank,
No,
Benjay?
if you mess with the mic, here it's a sound.
All right, bro. Just making sure.
I didn't hear nothing. That's
unbelievable.
Because it wouldn't be the first time. It wouldn't be the first time that's happened, bro. But let's swap it over. First thing I want to talk about today is Rookie of the Year, ladies and gentlemen. Goes to the one and only Rancor. Give it up for Rancor as he gets Rookie of the Year here. Listen, I'll start things off here. I thought Rancor was great this year, obviously getting Rookie of the Year, but just seeing like his work ethic and just seeing how his teammates talk about him, you could tell he's just an amazing guy and an amazing player, bro. So I think Rancor deserves this. He's been phenomenal all year long, and his consistency has been great to see. And I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to watch this guy play and see him in a league for many years to come. So huge shout out to Rancor for winning Rookie of the Year. But I'm going to go down the list and kind of let everybody get their thoughts on Rookie of the Year. Maybe give some kudos, maybe some runner-ups. Sam, what did you think? Rancor getting Rookie of the Year. What are your thoughts, Sam?
Definitely deserved it, man. I thought it was really cool that he brought Super up. They like kind of had a moment together on stage. I think that just their attitude as a team, and every time they get an opportunity to like talk about each other, it seems really wholesome. It's super easy to root for, and I find myself being a fan of their team pretty easily. So I just want to get my hats off to Rancor. They seem pretty grounded with like how they operate as a team. So I thought that was cool. Definitely deserved it again. I think that he was either him, Super, Xnid. I know chat's probably gonna say Merc, just everything that's what happened with him lately, but I think he deserves it for sure.
What about you, Duarte? What'd you think? Rancor, rookie of the year.
I was a big fan of this guy. I think he's a beast. He made this Miami team a lot better. And then obviously with Super, them sharing that moment was very special because I think they both had a very, very positive impact to this team. They've been placing higher and higher ever since bringing these two on and being a real threat to events lately. So I'm excited to see where their career goes or where Rencor's career goes. I think that guy's going to be a staple for this Heretics team for a very long time.
What about you, Benjay? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I love what version of Miami we've gotten, and it's been led by some contributions by a few rookies. I really like the duo moment that we got today with Rencor and Super, and I think it's a well-deserved victory and award.
And Pat, yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously y'all kind of spoke on this year, but I think just in general, this guy him and Super, but like they've turned this entire franchise around. So I think it's definitely deserved. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
Better than that SGA MVP, that's for sure.
What, you calling him a fraud, Pat? You're calling him a fraud?
That's super biased, bro.
But yes, congratulations to Rancor. I also thought it was great to see Rancor shout out his teammate Super when he accepted his trophy. He actually they brought Super on stage as well, and he was sharing the trophy with Super, and I thought that was really cool to see. Just to see the camaraderie between the two teammates was awesome, bro. I swear somebody was cutting the fucking onions today before the game started because it was a good moment between Rancor and Super. So it was cool to see. Shout out to Rancor yet again. You deserve it, brother. If you're watching, because I know he's in here sometimes, you deserve everything, bro. You keep that gas pedal down. You keep doing what you're doing. But then before we move on to the matches, one more thing. Season MVP, ladies and gentlemen, goes to the one and only Ernesto Long Neck Scrappy in the building. He's gonna get the season MVP. Obviously, Ernie, 2 major wins this year. He's played incredible throughout the year. I know a lot of people want to talk about the champs, the champs placement and what's going on at champs. But hey, before the tournaments, somebody's talking. Is that Duarte? I know some of you guys have a lot to say about this, but hey, man, I got nothing but good things to say about Ernie, bro. He's had an incredible season. He's had a great year. He's played great. From start to finish. Obviously, today was a rough one for the guy, but you can't deny his talent. You can't deny how good he is. And Scrappy, he earned it, bro. He was a phenomenal player throughout the season, and I wasn't shocked to see him get it before the matches started today. So huge congratulations to Scrappy. I'm excited to see him play here in the future. But Sam, we'll go to you, Ernesto Scrappy. Over at your team, LA Thieves, he gets the season MVP. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What do you think, Sam?
I think it was deserved. Unfortunately, the moment was pretty squandered by the fact that they got dead fucking last, unfortunately. But I think it was deserved, man. It was between him and MC in my mind. And I think that Scrap has really just been fucking unbelievable from start to finish. So, again, the champs placing kind of just puts a damper on the entire award, unfortunately. But it's still a successful season from him individually. I mean, he was incredible all year.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Chris Duarte? What you think about Scrappy getting MVP?
I mean, he definitely deserved it, but I think they need to add a regular season on there because I'm not a fan of the way they do the MVP. I think they should have a regular season MVP and they should be post champs if they're going to do like most valuable player, or at the very least tag that it's regular season. Because you saw what happened today, but he's played phenomenal this whole year. He had 2 MVPs for his team, and it sucks to see him still be eluded by that ring. But he's got a bright career ahead of him. He's been consistent for all of his teams that he's played, and they'll get one eventually. You got to think so. Unfortunate.
Yeah. What about you, Benjay? What are your thoughts?
I think it was between Ernie and MC, and I'm not surprised Ernie got. Did they post? I didn't see. Did they post like the voting results between the MVP race at all?
I have no idea. No,
I didn't see it anywhere.
Nothing I see. Nothing I saw.
I was curious, like how
who voted?
There's like players vote,
coaches
vote,
talent, fans.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit.
A little bit of everything.
Well, I don't think I don't think it's an MVP fan vote, right? It's just for all.
There should be.
You think so?
No, not for MVP.
Yeah, there should be.
For All Stars, maybe.
Shotzi would have won it.
Yeah, probably actually. No, I think it was deserved for Ernesto, and we'll obviously talk about their performance at this event. But I mean, you gotta tip it, to be honest.
Yeah. What about you, Pat? Scrappy getting the MVP. What are your initial thoughts, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, he was my MVP for sure. I think he just had a phenomenal season all season long. I don't think he was bad ever at one point this entire year.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, obviously he's got some postseason struggles to figure out at champs, but I mean, he's been godlike all year, so I think it was deserved.
Yeah. Shout out to Scrappy.
What's his random question? I was just thinking about what's his champs placings right now? I know it's Modern Warfare 2 and got second, but
last, and I don't remember what he did. MW2. What did he do in MW2? Or
it was last year, right?
Yeah. What did he do last year?
238, 248.
Third last year. Okay. 238.
Second,
Okay.
third, and an eighth. So yeah, Scrappy's still trying to chase that ring here in his career. So we'll be seeing what he does here in the future. But I do want to say, Scrappy, I'm echoing, by the way. I don't know if I think it's Chris's mic. I don't know who it is, but I'm echoing from somebody's mic. It's just stopped now. Is it Ben? Because he just did something over there, and now I'm not echoing anymore. So it might be.
No,
Ben's
it's Pat's mic that you were echoing through.
Oh, it's Pat's. Okay.
Is it still happening? I didn't change anything.
Nah, I mean I don't hear it anymore. But anyway,
Make sure you echo cancel on in TeamSpeak, Pat.
Anyway, Scrappy on stage, accepting the trophy, just seeing him up there, just giving thanks to his family, and just seeing him tear up was awesome to see, bro. I mean, you could just tell how much his family and friends back home mean to him, and the support, and it was cool to see that moment with him and his mom. So huge shout out to Scrappy, and he's got an awesome family, man. I've met Scrappy's family a couple times now, and they're awesome people, bro. So I was happy for him. I was happy to see them watch their son hold up a trophy that was well deserved. So huge congratulations to Scrappy on the season MVP. But let's move on because we got a lot to talk about here. We got 4 matches today. Day 2 COD Champs live from Kitchener. We had some bangers today. We start things off with the Vancouver Surge going up against the Los Angeles Thieves. And I mean, this is kind of what everybody was talking about, right? Scrappy gets the MVP, but unfortunately, LA Thieves fall short here at Champs as they were the favorites going into the event, and they get 3-0'd here in losers bracket after losing yesterday, and they get eliminated from Call of Duty Champs. Vancouver with a swift 3-0. They win the red card hardpoint 250 to 218. The red card search 6-4, and the vault control 3-2. What a series from Vancouver. They looked great. We'll scroll down here and take a look at the stat sheet. You had a 1.07 from 04, a 1.10 from Abuza, a 1.03 from Nasty, and a 0.85 from Neptune. On the other side, you had a 0.92 from Dylan Envoy, you had a 0.87 from Ghosty, a 1.17 from Hydra, and a 1.01 from Scrap. We'll take a look here at the match MVP. It's going to be Abuza with a 1.17 in hardpoint, a 0.86 in S&D, and a 1.09 in control. Great series here from Abuza. Sam, we'll start with you. Obviously, these are your boys. You're rooting for them, and unfortunately, it just fell short for them. I mean, they were definitely the favorites going into it. They were an incredible team all year, but come champs time, they just struggled to get map wins. Honestly, they just had a hard time trying to close out some of these maps and closing out these series. What are your thoughts, Sam? What are your initial thoughts after LA Thieves getting eliminated? What do you think?
Unfortunately, they were kind of a non-starter the whole weekend. I really, as clinical as we saw them in their back-to-back, just with decision-making and teamwork and things like that, there were just really bad day one mistakes in both of the series, Boston and Vancouver today, that, I mean, even if they won this series, I had absolutely zero confidence in watching them play. They just didn't show up this weekend to play whatsoever. The mistakes they were making, specifically in this series, we'll talk about the red card hardpoint. I mean, they were pushing P3 with 8 seconds left, dying and flipping for P4. They did it twice. The most notably, I think, the way the series ended in the control, Dill challenging B Street in a 4v3, just taking a 1 with 15 seconds left, and then Dan just getting absolutely world starred on the U slide in by Nasty.
Yeah.
They were just mistakes that event-winning teams don't make, and I think that they just did not utilize the break properly, and they didn't show up to play this weekend, and they got dead fucking last for it. So, yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is, man. There's not really much to say. They played like complete shit.
Yeah,
both series.
Speaking of the P4s on the red card, because I feel like that's kind of where it started. They weren't rotating today. Do you think it was maybe just the nerves? Do you think it was just the adrenaline? Like, what do you think it was? Like, watching them just throw all their lives away at 2 P3s in a row and then lose rotation to the money hill on red card? It just doesn't seem like the same LA Thieves we're used to watching. Like, do you just think they got caught up in a moment, Sam? Like, what do you think it is?
I really don't know, because before we had listings to go off of, and I don't remember a listing in this series from these guys. I think there might have been one, but I think when they lost to Boston the first time was at Major 2. Like, we were just really hard on their comms, and the intensity really wasn't there, and it was pretty like obvious in the way that they were playing.
Yeah.
But in these two series, they just seemed so flat to me, and it could have just been the exact same thing. Like, they could have just shown up and really not been going hard, but. I don't know, because the mistakes were really like day one, like just don't flip P4 on red card like that. When I saw red card map 1 in this series, I was confused because it's been such a dominant map and mode combo for them for the whole season. Granted, all of them kind of look like that, but red card's been a bread and butter for these guys, and they were making really bad day 1 mistakes. And I really don't know what it is. Like, this is now the second time this season that this team has shown up and just fallen completely on their face. So I don't know if that's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's a player mentality thing. I don't know if like they just didn't fucking show up to play. Truly, I couldn't tell you what it is. It was just an anomaly to me. I don't know.
What about you, Duarte? We'll go to you. I see 04 in the chat. 04, congrats on a big W here, brother. Keep it up, man. Keep that gas pedal down. Best of luck to you. But what do you think, Duarte?
Absolutely.
I would say today was the opposite of yesterday. I think yesterday they gave the other team, way too much respect, and they were playing very timid, especially in those S&Ds. And today was the complete opposite. It felt like when they were playing against Surge, they were giving them no respect. They were out there just running it down, scamming. There were so many times we were even talking about, I think Clay chimed in and said that like Abuz is like an anti-scam player where he's always playing for somebody to give him something, and Surge is really good at just taking the space that the enemy team is willing to give them and essentially capitalizing on those scams. And I think Thieves were just running it down. There were so many times where they either got overconfident and they tried to overpush and play those exits. They ran into a wall of Surge players, died and flipped out. They had so many times where they were just like running it down and like not giving any sort of respect to Surge. And it was costing them a lot in those respawns. So they were just throwing away so many lives. No team today was able to win a defensive round in control. I think barring one.
The one overtime,
I think it's
all of Thieves' losses in offense. All of Thieves' losses in control on offense or on defense were to lives. That means that they were getting kills and just running it down, trying to put them in a spawn trap and failing every single time when they could have just credit up, guaranteed trades, and stopped trying to play this perfect scenario COD where they're getting every kill and putting them in a blender. Like, it wasn't working today. They tried to out-talent their opponent, and it didn't work today, and it bit them in the ass.
Yeah. What do you think, Benjay? Maybe an overconfidence thing from LA Thieves? I saw some people in the chat saying they just came in too hot, too confident. I mean, what do you think went wrong for LA this weekend, Ben?
We should have known that this was going to be a sketchy weekend because I saw an Ernie tweet from a couple of days ago. I'm going to read this to you, bro. He tweeted, "So much tourism going to be coming to Kitchener. Load to do, let me tell you. Why are you worried about tourism, brother, when you got a COD champs win the ring, my guy?"
He's just bitching about the venue.
I don't think he's actually worried about tourism. He's just chirping.
You're reading too into
that. I think these guys have had an ego problem all year. I think we saw it at Major 2 was an event that I think they should have played better, and they came flat. And this, again, I think as this team and this project continues to evolve, and it may be with that one player, and we'll get to that in a minute, I think they got to figure out how to manage their ego a little bit better. I agree with all the sentiments you guys gave. I feel like they just kind of play with no respect again today. I think Vancouver are a team that also kind of run it down, and I thought they did a very effective job of playing their game today. I thought Nasty, considering that apparently he's sick this week, absolutely fried. I thought 04 was making plays. Thought Abuz had a much better day. I love watching Neptune play because, bro, that guy, talk about running it down. That guy just never stops. And he scanned his lives a couple of times and made, I think, the red card hard point a little bit close on a couple of mistakes he made. But
yeah.
On the Thieves side, the only other thing is, I hate to say it now, I think for me, if I have to pick a player on Thieves that the microscope's on, a little bit going in the EWC, I think Dan is their weakest player. I think he has struggled pretty much on land and S&D since Major 1. He's usually pretty good online in that game mode, but at search here at events, it's been a struggle. I know they got away with it the last 2 events, but going into WC, I think Dan's got to play better. Or going into roster mania, he might be on the way out of the squad.
I'm not going to put this on Dan nor one player on this team. If you watch their arrows, I said it 100 times in that control. They're skipping steps. They're trying to put people in blenders where they are essentially getting every single kill and winning every 1v1. Their lack of teamwork today was fucking exposed, and it was bad, bro. It's not one player.
Well,
yeah, Hydra and Scrap are more talented than Dan and Envoy, so naturally they're going to get more kills and probably win a lot of those 50-50s. But you can't expect every single on your team to win every single scenario they get put in when you are rushing every single step of the way.
Mm-hmm. Pat, what did you think of the series, Pat? LA Thieves, they come out and Vancouver stomp on them 3-0, sweep. Fuck out of here. Eliminated. What did you think, Pat?
Damn,
Fuck out of here. It's crazy.
Yeah, they got absolutely shit on.
They
got shit on today for sure. They looked awful this whole weekend. But I'm just gonna predict it now, bro. I actually expect this team just to bounce back and have a very similar route that FaZe did last year and win EWC. I think this team, especially being off the back-to-back, being on a super high, needed to get punched in the mouth. They got fucking rocked. And I think they'll be fine. This team has way too much talent. So yeah, I like I said, I expect them to bounce back and win EWC. As far as Surge, I mean, Surge took advantage of the moment. They smelt blood, and they absolutely attacked this team. I'd be curious to know how much, because it's obviously a loser bracket match, and you can never really prepare for who you're going to play in losers at tournaments. But knowing Ray, I'm curious of how much game plan the Surge team had against Thieves specifically.
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
But
you could tell on the S&D the way that they had a couple of timings, hard counters, middle that I think they knew how Paco was playing, and I think it really put Thieves' offense super off guard. Obviously, Thieves started to rattle off some rounds at the end because I think Vancouver started playing like massive pussies. Yeah,
Thieves had to swap their A player. Dan was their A player before, and then later in the rounds as they started to come back, they swapped Scrap over because they were struggling and they were just they were getting caught.
I mean, Dan, there was 3 straight. I think literally the first 3 rounds of the game, Dan was just on an island and just immediately got picked in every opening push. It was just.
But yeah, they got shit on. They got to obviously suck. They just got to forget about it.
Let Pat go. Let Pat talk. Benjay, hold on. Take it
go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just saying they obviously got shit on. I just think their route forward is just to completely forget about the tournament. And like I said, I think they'll have a good EWC.
So short term, I will say, Ernie, Champs history now is not good, and I'm sure he's probably saying to himself, "This is the last time that this happens to me at Champs." So I expect Ernie's going to fry next year's Champs on an insane level. But I think on the Dan thing, I think he's been their weakest search player at events pretty much all year. They've gotten away with it until now, and I just think going in EWC, I expect them to lock in. But Dan's the player I have under the microscope out of the squad because we've seen Dell pop off in a way at majors. I thought he didn't play too bad today. Paco and Scrap have been doing their thing, but Dan's their weakest player right now, and I think replacing him for a better flex player because we don't really see Scrap, Plod, and AR that sub that much. I think would probably be the best path.
I don't know if I really want to lean into this Scrap at chance thing, bro. It's a team game at the end of the day, bro. The whole the team.
Yeah, but think about
bro. They don't better flex players. Are we dead ass?
Hold on. Keep in mind, Ben was calling for a FaZe roster change after they lost Champs last year.
No, I was not calling for a FaZe roster change after Champs. If they lost EWC, they should think about a change. That's what I said. Go look for a clip.
Yeah, they just won 2 majors. They got top 8. They got top 8 at Champs because they fucking had terrible teamwork. If you think it's because of Dan, fried.
You think if they go to EWC and play poorly again, maybe they get because it's a single in bracket. Let's say you go and you get top 4. You think they stick?
Okay, I'm gonna put it this way. You saw the results of their entire team clicking, regardless of Dan's stats. After the last 2 majors, so you're going to go ahead. You're going to go.
Yes or no?
No. I don't think so. You're gonna. I don't think so. Who are they going to get?
They can get literally, but there are a lot of good flex players for this team for Dan.
There is
because Ernie's not.
I mean, that's weird because Dan's the one that found himself on this team because he was so good on the Thieves last year.
Wait, hold on. Who are they getting? That's really good.
There are quite a few players. A couple on the Vancouver side who I think would be solid.
One
from a stats standpoint, a gameplay pure standpoint, maybe Sib because he is a killer and that is it. But what Dan brings to the table in comparison to Sib. And then
I would not
like
drop
exactly. So like exactly. So
right now.
on the team they just played tonight. I want to respect Vancouver because they're still in this fucking tournament. But like,
I would pick up Nasty or a Booza over Dan. Bro.
Dan was better than they were on Thieves.
Okay, hold on. Let me have the floor here. Benjay.
Yeah.
Who? Benjay. Who?
On Vancouver?
No. No,
Period.
just period in general. Who?
I think anyone but Neptune would be a decent fit on the squad.
Do we look like a bunch of owls to you?
Bring Byron back. I think bring Ken back.
You would have dropped Dan.
Now you're just putting names out there because we called you out. Ben's faded. This team it's not a product of Dan. It's not a product of Envoy. You're gonna look at them because of their stats. They played as a team like ass, bro. Their maps were so hectic. Their mini map was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
they were just running it down. Bro, there were so many times on the control. I'm going to go back to the control again. Surge players are off spawn, and they're like coming off spawn, and they're just ironing. And guess who runs into their fucking iron? Hydra. Yeah, he popped a 2-piece earlier, so he's going to look like he has a fucking 1 point whatever. But instead of slowing it down and playing a fucking creddy, he's running it down. And boom, that pick opening, they take advantage.
No, I agree with you, Chris.
Stats are fucking irrelevant in this scenario. They're trolling.
There were a couple of bad P3s they played. Hitting olds on P3s and flipping out for P4s type shit. Like they just.
That's why the roster composition doesn't matter, bro. Like they played. Like there was no singular play. If Dan just fucking hard costed both of these series, then there would be a legitimate argument for it. But the way fundamentally and minimap in which that they played both of these series was fucking terrible. They lost two controls. They're the best control team ever, and they lost two of them back to back.
Not statistically now. Bro, unfortunately,
they played entire stages losing like one control round, not map round, and they lost back to back at champs. Like that is
they're losing on lives and defense twice on Vault.
They broke, dude. It is what it is.
I think you guys hit the nail on the coffin. They just seems like they did not use the 4 weeks effectively. The teamwork was flat. There were some bad individual performances, and you want to fish a strong EWC because if you go to EWC and you do this, and let's say they fucking bomb out and don't make it out of groups at EWC, then you've just wasted a pretty good Major 3 and Major 4 with the sour taste in your mouth at the end of the year.
Yeah, and then on the other side with Vancouver, because I do want to show them some love. I mean, you gotta show them, give them some love here, bro. I mean, they've been losing to LA Thieves all year, right? I mean, this is the first time all year.
They're 6-0 until this series,
which is insane. I mean, they literally could not beat these guys, and then at Call of Duty Champs, the biggest tournament of the year, they're able to get a 3-0 victory over them, and I think that says a lot about their team, their preparation, their composure. I thought they came out and they played great today. So shout out to Vancouver. I know they had a rough first day, so for them to bounce back and get a big win over LA Thieves, I'm sure is doing a lot for their confidence right now. So Vancouver looking really good. I'm sure Rambo Ray and the boys are going to go back and prepare for tomorrow. But you guys got any thoughts on Vancouver? I thought they looked great, bro. I thought Vancouver was all over the map today. I love watching Neptune play. Nasty's obviously been stepping up for these guys. And apparently he's sick as well, playing through a flu or playing through a sickness. So shout out to Nasty, just kind of pushing through. Abuza looked much better today. 04 has been really good. I mean, these guys have just been firing on all cylinders, bro. I really like what I saw today from Vancouver. It was much better from what we saw yesterday. Anybody got anything to say about Vancouver? I'll just drop it to the whole floor.
They should have won that search like 6-1, 6-2. I don't know how it became a 6-4, but
their hard point could have been a little bit cleaner. But overall, I mean, they got the job done. So let's see if they keep it up tomorrow.
Yeah,
Neptune kind of low-key scammed a little bit on the second rotation. Let them come back a bit, but not too bad. They got to have a Canadian
coming for up. Vancouver guys. It is just like, yeah, they probably could have won this shit cleaner. Yeah, they were like scamming right here.
Rambo's probably watching this like, what the?
No, but hold on. That's gas in itself because if they didn't make one or two mistakes, this would have been a fucking absolute blowout on their part. Like, on to real shit, that's how good they played.
I mean, it's they just 3-0'd.
It's an upset. They played. It's an upset. They played a lot better today than they did yesterday.
Give them some gas. They played phenomenal. They played great.
Oh, that is hilarious, bro.
And they're playing a team in Toronto that they've had Toronto's number this year. So, like, Vancouver has a good chance to make a nice fucking run here.
They capitalized on Thieves looking like absolute shit, and they all rose to the occasion, man. They played really well. Hopefully they keep it going.
All right, any final thoughts on Vancouver, LA Thieves? Any final thoughts, guys? LA Thieves getting a, last place? They got last place.
All right, man.
My bad. So I just letting everybody know.
Go next.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Next one, we got Atlanta FaZe going up against the Carolina Royal Ravens, and Yeah, Carolina.
GG, go next.
Yeah, Carolina getting smoked here. Atlanta FaZe getting a 3-0 victory. I mean, it was close. It was around 11 map 2. FaZe were able to close it out 6-5. Hacienda Hardpoint, the first map was 250 to 216. And then the Hacienda Control was pretty clinical from FaZe. A 3-0 in that one. Carolina really struggling here today. We'll scroll down, take a look here at the stat sheet. Nearly a red carpet for Carolina. It's actually Gwyn, who, I mean, you can't really blame him. I felt like he was baiting the fuck out of them today. I mean, I feel like you can't blame him because they can't get kills. So I feel like Gwyn was trying to do everything today. I do want to show Gwyn some love. He had a 1.16 in this series. Slasher had a 0.71. TJ had a 0.84, and Dylan Rex with a 0.6 in this one. On the other side, he had a 1.52 from Abizi today. I didn't even think he played that bad yesterday. I know FaZe lost, but I mean, just seeing him play today, he was unbelievable today. You had Salian with a 1.39, you had Draza with a 1.0, and Simp with a 1.0. So everybody even or positive on the side of Atlanta FaZe. We'll take a look.
Someone called him Dylan Reeks in chat.
No, that's insane.
That's tough.
We got Tyler Abizi with a Masterclass here, a 1.38 in Hardpoint, a 1.43 in Search, and a 1.75 in Control. He was the match MVP here in this one. I'll start off with this series. Listen, bro, I feel like Carolina got the yips, man. I feel like they looked horrible, bro. Carolina did not look good.
They have not
bro.
been good, though.
No, they haven't
at
been
all.
good. You know me, I've kind of been on the Carolina hate train. Not just because I think they're bad players. I just think as a team, they're just like, I don't know, bro. Like, just watching them match up, watching how they play, like, they just don't play at a quick pace. Like, I feel like they play, like, just so slow. They're always behind. They're always fighting from behind. And they're never, like, ahead of the game. And they just... I don't know, bro. They've just been so mid, man. I don't want to roast them, but they've just really struggled this year. I haven't seen like much from them. And obviously they brought Dylan Rex in, and clearly he struggled a lot today. He was a problem on a map. I just feel like maybe his first champs. Was it his first champs? I think TG.
His first pro champs. No, he played in BO4 champs. He played with Tom. He was an AM.
They got 1v a million.
They got 1v forward by Gunless
on Hacienda.
Wait, what do you mean it's his first pro champs? If he
because he wasn't on a pro team. Like he was on an AM team that went through LCQ. But yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I know, but it wasn't his first. It wasn't his first champs, is what I was trying to say.
I think I agree with Kleber. I think we saw the last champs that a handful of these Carolina guys are ever going to play. Including Dylan Rex, maybe. I think this is. I mean, obviously they still got EWC, but like I don't expect to see Slasher TJ back next year. And yeah, I mean Dylan Rex still has a lot to prove, I think.
So you guys think
probably going back?
You guys think this is the end of the road for Carolina with some of these players? Like you think they're done with this team? What about heading into EWC? You see them making changes going into EWC, or do you think they're just going to stick it out and then after EWC, then they'll just next year?
I don't know.
They should absolutely make it. I think teams can only make like one change, Tom.
Wait,
I thought you
one
could make
player?
Two. I thought you could make 2 changes.
Maybe you can make 2, but
they didn't. They weren't clear. They said you can't make like an overwhelming change or whatever.
Major changes is
major changes, and that's either
that means
that's either like 2 or less, probably.
Well,
I had to guess.
I think Dill's dropped 100%. I think it'll obviously depend on who's available after Challengers Champs, because anyone who, you know what I'm saying, like qualifies in or doesn't qualify will shuffle out. But I don't think Dylan showed enough in this stint that they should keep it going with him. They should try and shuffle it and see if they can somehow get a groups in EWC.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but like, bro, it's not like any of them have been good that justify their spot.
Gwen?
Well, yeah, outside of Gwen, we're talking about the 3 who have just consistently shit the bed.
Yeah, Austin's been on a downward decline this entire season. Same with a little bit with Tej, fortunately. It sucks because they started out the year so well.
They started out so hot, bro. They looked great to start the year. I think the start of the year, they were just ahead. They were just learning the game faster, and they were just kind of like a step ahead, and then people just kind of caught up, and they kind of fizzled out as the year went on. But Sam, what'd you think? What'd you think of Carolina? What'd you think of the series? What are your thoughts, Sam?
Expected result placing in series. Yeah. I mean, Ravens were dead in the water for a while there. Again, I brought it up every time we talk about it, bro. The roster change ruined their team. I think that they stagnated with their early season success. Never really took steps forward to get better. And this is just where they ended up. I thought Dylan Rex was good for them online. He had a couple good moments, and then both series this weekend, he got fucking hooped. Gwen randomly, statistically, had a good weekend, but I don't know how much of that is on his teammates not getting any kills or him kind of playing for stats a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't blame him for slowing down and baiting.
Yeah, he definitely
They couldn't get kills. They couldn't get kills.
I was kind of eagle-eyed on his arrow a little bit because it was such a statistical anomaly for how poor his team was playing. There wasn't like a lot of crazy moments where I was like, okay, he's like kind of just kill whoring. Yeah. There was like some moments today in the control where he was like trying to spawn trap and just while his team was getting capped on, it was bad. But I don't know,
down
man.
2-0 in the series at that point. They're chalked.
Yeah, that's exactly. You can't really blame the kid, but I don't know, man. I just this Ravens team's been dead for a while now. And again, it's an expected result. We all knew they were going to get last, unfortunately. But yeah, to y'all sentiment, I wouldn't be shocked if Austin doesn't come back next year. Just I don't think he's going to break through to that upper echelon of the league. And knowing him, he's not content with this kind of result. So I don't think he is going to end up on a FaZe Optic Thieves situation. So I don't know what he wants to do mentally. Tej, I don't know either. This could very easily be his last series too, but
Listen,
who knows,
I'm
man?
calling it now. Austin and Clay coaching duo Falcons, make it happen.
That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. But I'm sure Austin. I don't really know. I wonder what Austin's feeling. I wonder where his head's at. I wonder if he wants to play. I wonder if he wants to take a step back. Like I just don't know like where he's at. You know what I mean?
I gotta imagine the money's nice, but there's no way he wants to scrim anymore, bro.
Bro, he's knowing him, bro. The work you got to put in, the game's quality year after year, the results of the teams that he's going to be on. I just don't see it.
Yeah. So we'll see. He would make a great coach. I will say that. Austin would be
Might be an unbelievable coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be great. And then on the other side, Chris, did we get your thoughts on the series, Chris?
No, but you guys pretty much echoed everything. I just don't think Dylan is going to start on a team next year. He's going to go back to Challengers and have to prove his worth. Who knows what Teach is going to want to do, if he's going to play through Challengers or try to get on another team, and Gwen's the only person that's really safe. And you guys already touched on Austin. So, yeah, not really much else to say. Abizi had a 1.5, great series. They still have a lot of improving because even then, this series wasn't that clean out of them. It could have been a lot cleaner. So we'll see how FaZe does tomorrow.
They just have a map pull problem, bro. They've been banning full hardpoint all these series. It just seems like this is, if they're going to win this event, it's going to happen, I feel like, this way, bro. It's just going to be grinded out every series with these Hossies, these protocols, and we'll see what happens. Rewind hardpoint's been this series, just hasn't been played. Like, I think their map pull has been slowly decimated by the changes over the split. I know Rewind hardpoint is a map that they have played pretty good, same with Rewind search, but I just don't think their map pull is in a fantastic spot, and they're going to have to, I think, win a lot of 3-1 and 3-2s if they want to get a ring here.
Yeah, I think, I mean, this should have been a win for FaZe, right? I mean, this is a series that they have to win, right? I mean, I don't think any of us expected them to lose this series, but hey, after how the weekend's been going, who the fuck knows anymore, right? Like, I mean, going into these series, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, especially go ahead.
I was going to say, especially if Carolina won the round 11 and tied it up at 1, and now, we're looking at a different series.
If they don't choke a 5-2.
Yeah, 5-2.
That's another thing.
And then even then, bro, like, the third map was a blowout, whatever, but, like, first map, like, bro, the way FaZe got to play the least efficient Hossie and hardpoint I've ever seen in my life, because I feel like Tyler was doing everything and somehow still, like, I know they led the whole time, but the fact that it's a 40-point map at the end is just not, like, justify how one-sided that map was.
Because their only reliable hill is rock. Every other hill is a 50-50 for them.
I don't understand why they suck so much at Fences Hill. It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
They have such a hard time rotating the hill and, like, either holding the front or holding the back. They just, like, tweak.
Yeah, the rock hills is what's always saves FaZe on that map. They're so good at rock, they get so much time that it's just that's usually the hill that kind of separates them a little bit. But FaZe get the job here today. They get the job done. They take care of Carolina. Carolina gets eliminated. They get what, 7th and 8th, like with LA Thieves. They get last place with LA.
EFL.
So Atlanta FaZe will be moving on. We'll obviously take a look at tomorrow's matches and take a look at the bracket at the end after we cover everything. But FaZe will be moving on to Saturday. So great work from them. Any thoughts here with Atlanta FaZe and Carolina? I'm expecting maybe some roster changes here before EWC, and if not, best of luck to them. I don't see them making a lot of noise at EWC. I'll be honest, if they keep the team together. So curious if they do make changes, what do they do?
Carolina, they're
Yeah,
probably
Carolina.
drop Dylan for an AR and see what happens.
But who? Like, would you try and dip into challengers? Like, where? I mean, you probably have to, right? You probably have to dip into challengers.
Every CL team's going. You don't have like an LG situation with last year. Like those players are available. So
yeah, somebody said pick up Swooty. But yeah, no, I mean, we'll see what happens. Obviously,
one other thing, Tom, to be mindful of, chat, and I think we'll have the full groups after this event. But like Thieves getting DFL, Carolina getting DFL, there's a very good chance that there's going to be a potentially very stacked EWC group with 3 teams that should get out, and only 2 of them will. So we'll see if it plays out that way. But these being in an 8 seed kind of fucks, like, just like with FaZe getting 6th last year at Champs, it kind of fucks everything up with the EWC groups potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes by champ seeding and placement through the first 8, and then the bottom 4 teams that didn't make it by their actual CDL point standings, and then you see the challengers teams in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot to play for in challengers, right? Getting a top 4 placing solidifies a spot for EWC. So obviously, I'm rooting for the Stallions, man. I'm trying to get another Stallions key. You can see the one right there behind me. Actually, I think it's being covered right now, but no, it's not. It's right there. It's a little. But hopefully, Stallions can get a top 4 place. They actually looked really good today too. They actually beat the number 1 seed today. They beat Afro's team last.
That's tippable. Yeah, they've been really good.
And they came in through the LCQ as well. So last chance qualifier, boom, qualified last second, and then they start off 2-0 in pools. I mean, great work from the Stallions, man. Love to see the improvement there from the boys. Hopefully, they can keep it going. We'll be supporting them all weekend long, but. Any final thoughts about Atlanta FaZe and Carolina?
Sure.
All right. Let's move on to the third series of the day. And man, was this a banger. We got the Miami Heretics going up against the Boston Breach. This one was for a spot in the top 3. And Boston Breach was able to get the job done against Miami Heretics. You see Doug in the chat going nuts. They able to win this one last map 3-2. We start things off on a Hacienda hard point. It was a nail biter, 250 to 238. Miami were able to close that one out, but then we bounced back into Hacienda Search as Boston get a 6-2 victory in that one. Their S&D has just been clinical so far at Call of Duty Champs. Hacienda controlled 3-2 to Boston. I think it was all offense wins in that one, and then Boston was able to win the defense, finally seeing a defensive win in control. Then we go to a Rewinds hard point, which I'll be honest, Jesus, Miami just absolutely mopped the floor with them in that map. I mean, that was insane map from them. Real just letting it sing. He had a crazy map 4. And then we go into the protocol S&D. That goes all the way down to around 11, where Boston were able to close it out. I think Snoopy was able to get a cruise missile off, 3 plants and a defuse, and he gets a cruise? And I don't think
some kills.
And some kills, obviously, and some kills
they
as well.
had no idea.
And Miami had no idea. The Cruz comes in, and Purge was able to pop a couple kills in that round 11 and make it a 4v2 pretty early. So great plays coming in from Boston as they show some ice here. We'll scroll down, take a look at the stat sheet. Oh, man, we got a red carpet from the winning team, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'll play the sound, but they won the series. So, hey, sometimes the scoreboard and the stats really doesn't show the whole picture. I mean, look at this. You got a .99 from Snoopy, a .99 from Purge, a .87 from Awakening, and a .81 from Cammy. On the other side, you had Super with a 1.22, Real with a 1.36, Rencor with a 1.03, and Meadows with a .82. Now, I do think the map 4 definitely swung these stats a little bit because Miami just just pretty much pummeled them so bad. But man, match MVP Purge, this guy has been unbelievable. He had a .71 in hardpoint, but he had a 1.15 in search and a 1.62 in control. Sam, we've talked about Purge a lot, man. His arrow and just the decision making that he makes on a map. And on top of that, when he is in that takeover mode and when he is in that flow state, he's got a high ceiling, man. He's got one of the highest ceilings in the league, man. I love watching him and Snoop run around the map. But what did you think of the series, Sam?
Fucking dirty Neslov, man. Yeah. Back to back for Boston. A little worrying they haven't won a hard point yet in 2 series, but if your search is going to look like this, then you're going to go far. Fucking tippable, bro. Miami's been an incredible S&D team since they picked up Super, and Boston wins 2 of them. Miami ego child the Hacienda, which it's a good map for them as well. But Boston just looked comfortable in the mode, dude. The way they've been playing, their mid rounds have been on point, which is a talking point that we've had all the way back to the start of the season. Their teamwork in the mid round of Search has stood the test of time all the way through this season. So seeing them hold it as a backbone for their champs run is pretty impressive. A top 3 is definitely not where I had them. I had them where the Thieves place. So hats off to them, man.
You actually jinxed them, bro.
Had those cats getting dead last. So seeing them in winners finals is something I could pull for sure.
Yeah. What about you, Duarte? What you think of the series, man?
I think it's awesome to see an upset and the way that Boston's got to their top 3 placement so far. It sucks it had to be against Heretics because I've been rooting for this team this whole time. But what I liked about Boston is that they've been playing like really efficient COD. Like they haven't been getting the most kills on the map, but they are always together. They adopted a lot of the way that Miami played S&D and started deathballing when they get into these man advantage. And it even threw Miami for a loop here in their match. So it's tippable. That ninja cruise that Snoopy got, well, will forever haunt the Heretics. They were probably fucking mind blown. But ultimately, I don't know if it would have played a factor because I didn't like how they went for a blind counter 5-5. Like they were committed to hitting grandmas and flanking, I think, the zip without any sort of information, and they ended up just walking into Purge's iron. So tough shit. Good shit for Boston. This tournament has been very interesting because of Boston. So otherwise, we probably all would have been checked out with the same results as always, waiting until finals. So awesome out of Boston. Happy for him.
Yeah. What about you, Benjay? What are your thoughts? Boston Breach getting the job done. They're getting top 3.
I think the add-on, Chris, is like they just didn't know that Boston had backdoor fucking streak. I think that's just an insane.
Or sorry, are they top 4? Are they top 4 or top 3?
Top
three.
Oh, they are top 3.
Which is Boston's best placing in a very long time since Zinni was on the team. Obviously for Purge and Snoop, I think it's probably their best placing of all time, I believe.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to Boston, man. Just two absolute Neslos. Their S&D looks really on point. I think what I like about the way that they play Surge and Optic as well at this event is they get info and they hit shit together. They force trades. They don't spread. They don't scam. And I think you're seeing the rewards of it. Is it a efficient, realistic way to win all these series? Probably not, because they're going to play an Optic team tomorrow that I think is look good in all 3 modes. And then Boston's going to have to rally when they get bounced down to losers to someone who's probably making a deep losers bracket run. But I think for Boston, you couldn't have drafted a better storybook start for them. And on the Miami side, I think a bunch of, to your point, Chris, a bunch of bad decisions on that game 5 at the end, I think, is the reason they're not in winners finals.
Yeah, they were up by a pretty significant amount. I think it was like 4-1 or something like that. And then Boston battled back, but crazy.
Let's go over to you, Pat. Boston Breach, they get a top 3 placing, Pat, after the year that they had. It's pretty impressive. What are your thoughts, Pat? What are your initial thoughts? You impressed with Boston Breach this weekend or what, Pat?
I am, for sure. I mean, anyone who comes out of nowhere and gets top 3 at champs is impressive. I just want to dial us back a minute. Going to this last year's offseason, start of the year, we heard the rumors about Boston fucking going bankrupt, like everything just imploding in that org, layoffs, not knowing what they're going to do, budget cuts. And then one man, Doug Sensor Martin, rose from the ashes, Tom. And it did take some time. This team had its struggles throughout the year, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But when push came to shove, it caught champs. That's now 2 Neslos back-to-back, led by my man Doug Sensor Martin, the general manager. But obviously, phenomenal plays from the people on the team who are doing 99.9% of the work. But just wanted to give that shout out there. But yeah, impressed by Boston. Miami's a hard team to beat, and they got it done. Now, they're on a weird streak. I mean, 2 back-to-back Neslos and champs, especially in winners, is I don't even know if that's happened in a long time, like to Neslo through winners. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out for them tomorrow and see if they can continue with this. But right now, they're icy. Game 5, they're icy. Yep,
they're looking very, very strong. And then on the other side with Miami, man, I mean, they've had a great weekend, and they get bounced into losers. We'll take a look at their matchup when we take a look at the bracket. But what did you guys think about them in this series? I mean, I thought they came out. I honestly didn't think they looked bad. Their respawns are phenomenal, bro. Their hard points are insane. I think they just need to clean up the searches. Granted, the way that Boston is playing search right now, I think Miami might need to steal the way they're playing. I think a lot of teams might need to watch what Boston's doing and maybe take some notes because the way they're
hard
playing,
because it's all mid round, bro. It's not like you can just steal the opening strats for like post plans.
God.
Boston mid rounds are fucking insane.
The funniest thing is Miami might play the same maps against FaZe tomorrow on SD.
How do the vetoes go in this series?
Do we really have a 7th versus 8th seed winner final?
Yes. Is that not insane? How the hell is it? I mean, optics are a weird case because like they just have massively underperformed all year. But like,
I mean, they were a dog shit seed. They just made a great roster move picking up Merc. But like they were a bad team prior.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Optic. We'll get to them, but they have definitely looked like a completely different team since picking up Merc. I mean, I've been saying that since they picked him up. I mean, their dynamic has looked a lot better. But any final thoughts on this series? With
Tom,
Miami?
I think we have the legend in chat right now. I don't know if you're seeing what's going on here.
You talking about Olsen? Neslo's in here?
What's
going on, Olsen? What's going on, man? We got the legend Neslo in the chat, man. Hell yeah, bro. Shout out to the legend himself, man. Yes, sir, man. I got Neslo in here, bro. And it's fitting that he's in here right now with a 2-3-5 victory for the Boston Breach. Unbelievable. Slowly, Neslo. Hey, shout out to Neslo, bro. Hey, get a Wezzo spam in the chat. Show Neslo some love, man. But yeah, anybody else got any final thoughts? Any final thoughts here with Miami and Boston? Obviously, Miami fell short, but they're still not out of the tournament yet. But what are your final thoughts? Anybody? Anything else?
I think this Boston team is a great example of using that break effectively. And honestly, I assume they came into this tournament with zero expectations, and that probably helps, bro. You come to this tournament, and there's just very little pressure because they know that they're one of the weaker teams here. They haven't played amazing, and they've gotten a bunch of top sixes, but they haven't really made it deep in the tournament. And every match, everything is just a bonus. And I think they're a fun storybook storyline. Optic's playing well, but you never know, man. Be really fun if Boston made the finals.
That would be fucking absurd.
That would be nuts. That would be fucking
after the
nuts.
year, after how cut and dry this year's been, bro. If I'm watching Snoopy in a COD Champs Grand Final, all the dope.
That'd be insane.
That'd be so sick.
That would be nuts, bro. Anybody else? Any final thoughts on Miami and Boston? All right, let's move on to the last series of the day, the one everybody's been waiting for. Let's swap on over because we got Optic Texas going up against Toronto Ultra. And man, was this clinical from Optic Texas, a 250-87 win in the Skyline Hardpoint. It wasn't even close. They put Toronto in a dumpster, and they didn't stop there. They 6-1 them in the rewind search, and they 3-0 them in the protocol control. Can we talk about a beating, ladies and gentlemen? I'm scared to look at the stat sheet for Toronto Ultra. Oh, man. Oh, man. We got a .76 from Jodeci's. A point. What the hell? Somebody else got a soundboard in here?
No, I had to double check about that. Sorry.
We got a .55 from Insight. We got a .85 from Kleenex. And we got a .64 from Beans. They got absolutely slapped across the face today. On the other side, Jesus, we got a 1.79 from Dashi, a 1.22 from Hook, a 1.42 from Merc, and a 1.43 from Shotzi. What is going on with the Optic Texas? They are turning into another gear right now. We'll take a look at a match MVP. Probably going to be Dashi with a 1.7. Yes, it is. With a 2.25 in Hardpoint, a 5.0 in Search, and a 1.2 in Control.
They're playing ranked play.
Brother, are they playing ranked play? What the hell?
This is like... Optic are obviously playing some perfect fundamental COD. The thing I love the most about Optic is the S&Ds. Because they just get info and they just hit shit together. And Toronto, it felt like to me today, they were on two different plans with their sub players and ARs. I know Jamie got fried. And I think some of that was kind of deserved on the control, but on the hard point, I mean, he's just the disconnect with Toronto is really bad today. And when Optic are playing this way, I'm not surprised that it took a 20-minute series. And I'm gonna be honest, maybe a hot take. I think if Toronto lose tomorrow, I think this is Jamie Insight's last series for Toronto Ultra.
Bro, it should have been his last series the moment they had Merc as a sub. Like, bro, this was the most obvious call from a mile away, bro. And friendships and whatever the fuck happened, like, ruined this whole team's rest of the year, bro. They could have picked up Merc, as they should have when he was a sub, and this team would have went up another level, bro. He should have been off the team.
Merc is insane.
Yes,
he's insane.
Insight, you've done great for Toronto Ultra. You've been a great player. You've had a great career. But it's like, and you could have got on another team for sure. But that was the moment to pack a punch for Toronto Ultra, and they didn't. So, I mean, there's no one to blame but themselves, in my opinion. Especially when you have, you know, a duo, a connection to Jodeci, which has been so good all year. Like, not pack a punching and getting one of the best ARs in the league right away was the dumbest decision I've ever seen. Arguably dumber than hosting champs in Kitchener. So
no, it's not.
That's tough.
Nope, that was better.
Pat, the only thing I'll say is I don't think you're wrong, but like, you think Merc probably may still would have taken the Optic offer though, like in that situation?
Probably.
I don't know the contract details or what it was, but they didn't even, bro.
They didn't try.
You heard it. They didn't even try, bro. You literally.
So I had Adamu on the couch and I asked him, and he said that Merc obviously just waited the 2 weeks to be free. They made an offer. I don't know what kind of offer they made. Obviously, probably not to start.
Yeah. Be on our bench. Obviously, you don't decline that any day of the week.
But the point I'm trying to make is even if they made a starting offer, I think he's still taking the Optic offer. I would think.
Bro, the point is they should have made the best offer, period, and they didn't.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And that's the problem.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think Merc would have still picked Optic though. This is what it is. I just think, bro, watching their team play today, They have a very good sub duo, although Kleenex made some fucking horrendous decisions today. Their AR duo is what's holding them back. I think Ben's obviously a very young player, and I think has potential, but I just don't think Jamie and Ben work together, and they need to drop Jamie. Unfortunately, it just is what it is.
Sam, I see your tweet here. They dropped the ball with Merc. They dropped the ball. I mean,
April 26th, Tom, is currently some months later. It's actually 2 months later on the dot, and they beat him at COD Champs, man.
And now, I'll be honest with you, I can see Merc being on Optic for his whole career. I can. I genuinely can see him being there forever. I mean, he's a generational talent. Just watch the guy play. He's insane. He's mechanically, he's nuts. And he's also a very smart player. As a rookie, he's very, very smart, bro. Like, he makes good plays. Like, he doesn't throw his life away. He doesn't do a lot of dumb shit. Like, he's a very by-the-book Call of Duty player, and he's got the talent to back it up as well. So he's kind of just like a double-edged sword, but he can kind of do it all. If you're
he saved Shots' legacy, no doubt.
Stallions,
and no, I did not drop Merc.
On the Stallions.
Okay, I backed out of challengers and got rid of the whole team. Okay, we obviously loved Merc and
he ran circles around Tom,
I'm actually glad that people brought this up
Hector.
because we picked him up on a Stallions before the year even started. That team was godlike. That Merc, Lurks, Encourage, and Abe team was literally insane. We loved that team.
Why'd you drop him?
I'm giving it a Stallions take. I think
they
Abe's in the
made
league next year.
roster changes without talking to the bush.
Why didn't you drop them all but Merc and then just give him the keys?
Well, I backed out of challengers completely. I didn't want to pay for the money. You know how many thousands of dollars I've lost fucking being in challengers, Slay? You know how much money we gone through fucking supporting challenger teams, bro? It's just we're just losing thousands, but we do it for the love of the game, Slay. We do it for the love of the game. You know what I mean?
And for the ZooMAFIA
And for the
merch.
ZooMAFIA.
The Stallions
Yeah.
merch.
I think you might need to sell more pizzas at Paparazzo's, bro. I think that's kind of the issue here.
You sell more pizzas at Paparazzo's. Yeah, it's a tax write-off. Oh, here we go with the tax write-off combos again. Like it matters. We're still spending the money, guys. But from the get-go, bro, we knew Merc was insane. We knew he was nuts. I mean, that's why we had him on the Stallions to begin with. And to see where he is now, bro, is awesome, bro. I love seeing Merc out there dominating and doing what he does. But Pat, I want to go to you. I want to get your thoughts on Optic Texas because Nameless actually came out and dropped a tweet on the timeline today. And he actually said that this is probably the highest level of COD played all year by any team. Do you agree with that take, Pat? And what are your thoughts on Optic Texas on how they played today, Pat?
Wait, sorry. He's saying that the way Optic's playing currently is the highest.
That's what he said.
I mean,
I'd argue this is the highest level COD played all year by any team. That's how textbook perfect Optic has been. That's what Nameless said. Do you agree with that take? And what did you think about Optic Texas here today and yesterday? Just how they're playing in general, Pat. What are your thoughts?
I mean, they're obviously playing good. I think it's hard to say this, though. I mean, like, because we've talked about it before, like, you can't say any team is playing perfect if you're not getting the best from both teams. Like, I don't think we didn't see the best from fucking FaZe when Optic played them, and I don't think we saw the best from bro. Jamie had a .4. Like, I don't think you can ever say like, oh, they're so perfect when they're just getting fucking shit on.
But you don't think that's Optic's doing, Pat? You don't think they're getting shit on because Optic's shitting on them? Like, you think they?
It's a tale of two heads. Like both teams have to play into it, right? One team doesn't show up, one team plays really good, but at the end of the day, you can't take anything away from Optic.
And saying it after 2 days of gameplay is also insane.
Chat
like,
is so
wait until
dumb.
we see more from a whole tournament.
Yeah, 2 days, bro.
Don't roast the chat like that. Don't roast the chat like that, Ben. Watch your mouth.
Bro, we've seen teams like Thieves and FaZe play full weekends lights out.
I'm cooking chat, bro.
Like, I don't think it's comparable. I think Ant is
go.
just looking to get some engagement here, and he obviously, you know, he's playing the fiddle of the little green men, and he's doing it well. But yeah, he's just out for some engagement. I think it's an impossible take to make in any way. But yeah. Obviously, they look good. They beat who's been in front of them, and they beat them, you know, very convincingly so far.
Well, they beat.
I think to me the standout player has been Hook. I don't know about you guys.
Hook's insane. He's insane, bro.
Anyone else with a gas, Kyler? I'm down.
Like, I think that's really the biggest thing to talk about. Like, we've talked about Kyler in the past for years, like,
he's nuts.
especially in big moments, like making the brainhead play or the brain dead plays or like costing. I thought he's been phenomenal. Like, he's the one person that I thought has stepped up the absolute most.
He's their vocal lead the whole time.
Hook is nuts, dude. Sam, you were saying it now in the Watts party. How complete of a player player he is now. Just like the decision making and the talent. Like, bro, I don't know. Maybe it's like Merc coming in. Maybe it's helping everybody, bro. Maybe everybody's
he was doing
Hook's
that
been
pre-roster
good.
change.
I think
No,
if
but
you're
I'm
Optic-
saying, I'm saying the whole team though is playing way better now.
Bro,
No, Hook's been
Tyler
playing.
specifically,
Hook
though,
has
he's
been
been
good.
good.
Boston.
I don't bet I'm talking. No,
Yeah.
Hook has been good the whole year. He's been good the whole entire year. That's why I was shocked when a lot of those changes were going down. And I agree with what Clay said during the watch party. Hook has handled every roster mania situation with nothing but class, bro. He didn't go on live stream. He didn't talk shit about anybody. He didn't go tweeting and shit. He just said, you know what? It is what it is. I keep my head up. I keep grinding, and he found his way back to the team, and now they find themselves.
Hold on. And to add to this, Tom, he started in challengers this year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, he did.
Bro,
Fucking
the
Vancouver
teams,
got them for
bro, the
Charlie.
team. No, but even I mean, yeah, that was brain dead. But like even then, I mean, I gotta talk about this because we just talked about it with Toronto and Merc. The people running these teams are fucking brain dead, and I've thought that for 5 years.
My bad,
Like,
Ray.
not letting people, like, not making the fucking, having the foresight to pick up roster moves that are so obvious. I'm pretty sure I said it in the beginning of this year, like, how is Kyler not on a pro team? Because regardless of what you think about him, he's still the most talented player
He's so talented,
in challengers and more talented than plenty of players in the league from a pure talent standpoint. And you ride with that.
Bro, everyone with not even a brain, but just everybody knew that this specific game with like the omni movement and the sub heavy pressure, and just like that's a Kyler game.
Yeah.
We didn't know, obviously, he was going to turn into a super complete version of himself. But even if he was still that fucking blackout run forward player that we knew, like everybody knew that Kyler was going to be good at this game.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, bro. Just watching them play, all four of them are just such hard kills on the map right now. Like, they're not giving anybody anything. Like, they are playing so tight and just playing as a unit. It's so hard to beat a team when they're playing like that. And if they keep playing like that, bro, I don't know. These guys are skilled.
They're the best team in that venue.
Yeah, they're
Right
looking,
now,
they're looking scary right now.
Through 2 days, they're the
That's
best
why
team
I'm
in that
so
venue.
confused why chat was like going at fucking Pat about what he said, bro. Like, none of us are discrediting the way Optic played. To Nameless's comment, like, you have to mention the fact that Toronto played completely dog shit in this series. They played 2 out of 10 COD.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, I would say FaZe also played 2 out of 10 COD. Optic can't obviously control that. You know what I'm saying? They can only control how the way they play. The other team shit the bed, the other team shit the bed. But like, I don't think, I want to see, especially on whoever comes from the loser side, because I think Optic will handle Boston, how they play on that Sunday, and if they can win the back-to-back.
I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to consistency. If Optic come out and literally just like steamroll tomorrow and steamroll on Sunday, then like, yeah, this take is completely valid. Where we're like, for example, Nameless is saying this is like the most perfect COD. Because at the end of the day, you can't say that every team didn't show up against Optic. That would be completely discrediting them. But I mean, the way they're playing, best team in the venue. Also, I wanted to mention, you guys gassed up Hook, Dashy, Merc. Everyone's getting gassed, but Merc has been like the best or one of the best S&D and control players since he got in this league. He's been fucking unreal at both of these. Like, a lot of the time, I don't even notice that he has like a high KD in series until after we see the KDs like listed. It's actually kind of crazy because like his POV isn't that flashy, but his S&D's consistencies have been really, really good. Basically the entire time he's been playing. Also,
Wait,
Dashy dropped the 1 point. What?
Why did you say everyone's gassing Hook and Merc, and then go on to gas Merc?
Yeah. I thought you were gonna gas Shotzi because.
Well, no, I was gonna gas everyone, but like I just want to point out that Merc's basically been the best S&D and control player, or one of the best S&D and control players since he got in the league. But yeah, Dashy dropped the fucking 1.8. Dashy was been like the quiet one. I was waiting for him to turn up.
Where's this Brandon been all year?
Yeah, we were waiting for him to turn up for a while, and for him to do that, and then Shotzi obviously
Pat, you might need to gas Shotzi, Pat. You might need to gas him, bro.
I just haven't seen much so far. I mean,
what? He's going crazy. He was all over the map today.
I mean,
it's really
easy
like
when you
his
got
energy.
Merc and Hook doing what they're doing.
Hey, bro, he's going nuts today, Sled.
I also really like the energy that Shotzi was bringing, because I feel like a lot of people prior said that Shotzi only had that energy because of Pred, and Pred brought it out of him when they were both like simultaneously getting up, getting super hype. But like today, that was all him. He was the only one in his team that got up and got loud and started shouting. So, yeah, it's a dangerous sight to see when Ant gets in that mode and he's super hyped up.
Yeah, the fucking 4v2 scam.
Bro, Ant is 100%. I feel like
that shit didn't matter. That shit was over.
Bro, I feel like Ant is entering like his like veteran like IGL like kind of leader of the team like type role, like the way that
maybe
he's, like,
emotional leader, but not in game.
Definitely
It's
not
Kyler.
no,
Maybe emotional.
no, not like, okay, IGL is kind of crazy because and like in game kind of blacks out, but more like out of game stuff. Like I'm talking like watching VOD, like probably the atmosphere with the team. Like I feel like he's a big vocal guy behind the scenes for these guys. I really do.
Yeah.
In game is a little different. IGL was a bad comp for me.
Can we just talk about
But-
the fact that Tom, that like I think Optic came in this event. Just think about their situations here. They really did come to this event with that much pressure, maybe from the fan base, but like I think the players came in feeling the same kind of pressure they have in past years because of how this year has gone. Like I don't know what. I think that helps, like the freedom of the prep, than coming in emotionally. Like I just think they
I'm
built
gonna be
that
honest.
trust.
I think a lot of these takes were just overthinking it. I think as soon as they brought Merc onto this team, they've been a different team from the get go. From
Yeah, more
literally,
practice with them
They
definitely
don't have
helps.
a
but I-
0.7.
bro.
Yeah,
They
not
literally
having Caesar
from
and the Ken issue, for sure.
The second they put Merc on a team, that their trades were better, their pace was better, their decision making was better, and their slaying has been better. Everybody has been better when Merc got thrown into this roster. It just seemed like the perfect spot for Merc. And bro, even when they lost to FaZe in online in the league, bro, they played them tight. I remember how close the first map was, Rewind Hardpoint, and fucking, I think Simp somehow got a crazy 2-piece to win that one, but how close that series was. And that was an Optic that didn't even have a lot of practice, right? And now they have some practice under their belt. They're scary, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom, but I don't think Optic came in this like we need to get first or we fucking suck. You know what I'm saying? Like I think this and EWC were bonuses. If we clicked as a group, well, we put in the work and this is what we get and that's the reward. But it's like I don't think they're in the phase of the thief spot. You know what I'm saying? For the others saying,
I mean,
I don't think I'm wrong, bro. I think their level of pressure that they're dealing with this going into this event is completely different from past years, and I think it's benefited them because it allows them to focus more on the prep work and not have that other external fucking pressure. Look what happened to Thieves. They came in this event with all that pressure and fucking crumbled.
I think they're just as good as those teams ever since picking up Merc. I think they're just as good as FaZe. They're just as good as LA Thieves. They're just as good as Vancouver.
I agree with you. I'm not discounting their talent, Tom. I'm not saying they fucking suck and they're overperforming. I'm just saying they came in and they're just they don't have that level of pressure because of how the season's gone.
Yo, can I ask a question? How's like the rookie candidate work? Because some people have been asking if like Merc is going to be considered a rookie next year based on the amount of series or like events he's played, like kind of how Snoopy was.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what that's like?
He
like
played a whole major.
He's played 3 events.
I know. Okay,
no,
I wasn't asking because I thought I genuinely didn't know, so I wanted to get clarification for everybody else.
I know Spinner. Let me find. Spencer tweeted it at one point, like last year, like what the rule was. Let me see if I can find it.
I mean, the only thing I wanted to add to your whole pressure comment, Ben, is like I just feel like to say that Optic Texas is coming into this event with no pressure is a crazy calm, dude. I feel like that's crazy. I feel like every team at COD Champs has pressure on them.
No, but I'm not saying zero. I'm just saying like less pressure than some of the other teams, especially at their like talent level. You know what I'm saying? FaZe and Thieves have won 2 events. They win champs. They feel like we wasted that. Optic have essentially wasted the whole year. So it's like, well, how many events we win here at the end is like a fucking bonus because it's basically been a dead year for us.
Yeah, I mean they have gone through a lot of roster changes. I mean with Pred and Kenny, and I mean but they've been in a blender this year with roster changes. It's probably been hard for them to kind of.
Tom, let me talk about your situation at season 1 of World War II. Like, what did it feel like going through the losers bracket at that event, knowing that like the team was chalked if you guys lost? Like, did you feel like you had pressure, or you feel like you had the opposite in that situation?
I mean, there was definitely pressure, bro. I mean, we still had to go out there and perform, right? I mean, I feel like you definitely try and throw that pressure off of you a little bit and try and just tell your teammates, like, hey, like, nothing to lose, right? Like, we're already here. We're already in losers bracket. Like, people don't expect us to win. So, like, let's just go out there and have fun.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think
so I could see it from that point, Ben. I can see it from that point. But I just don't want to say no pressure, right? Because there is pressure, bro. I mean, we are at COD Champs. There's a lot of pressure on the line. Obviously, it's Merc's first champs. It's his rookie season. A lot of people have been critiquing Optic Texas heavy this year. You know, like people are always watching their every move, including us on the show. So like, there's definitely pressure there for them. And I don't know. I think they look scary, bro. I think they look really, really good. They look nuts. Ever since picking up Merc, they've been a different team, bro. They've honestly, it wouldn't surprise me. I think tomorrow with them in Boston, bro, I mean, I don't even know what to expect with that tomorrow because Boston's search is so good. And I really do believe that S&D wins championships. So I'm so excited for that series tomorrow, even though I won't probably be here to watch it. I'll be watching on my phone, but Man, I can't wait to see what happens in that one and see what happens tomorrow. But anybody else got any final thoughts here with Optic Texas, Toronto Ultra? Anybody got any thoughts? Any closing statements? Nothing?
I mean, if you're Optic, what you probably ban Hossie S&D based on the way Boston's been playing, and you maybe get a rewind or a red card, and you kind of see how it goes. I guess. I guess Optic might double red card ban again. Actually,
Optic might just square. They're just feeling so confident as well, but probably wouldn't be the right
square
move.
on Haas is a mistake.
I think you got to let red card S&D in if you're Optic. I think Boston look insane at hard Hossie S&D. I think you really got to avoid that, to be honest. If you get a fucking protocol, then great, because you look great on it. But that's how I'd play it. But Optic never do that. So who the fuck knows, Sam? You know
as long as Hossie's not in the map pool tomorrow, I'm feeling okay if I'm Optic, to be honest.
Optic always a map pool square, so
I think their hard point looks crazy. Boston hasn't won one this weekend, and obviously the control is really the catalyst in a Neslo. So I mean, if Optic wins map 3, I see it going their way.
People want me to tune into the listening with Optic Texas. I see the chat erupting, so let's tune in to the listening. It was a good listening. They were going fucking nuts. They were going crazy. So let's tune in. Let's listen to Optic Texas. See how they sounded today.
I'm holding my underground.
That's
That's
just
it.
hit right. Still up top.
Is he still top?
Right, Joe.
Okay, I'm holding my underground.
Right. What's right? There are multiple right. Yo, it's one out. They're all over you guys.
Couch is dead.
What's right?
One more time.
Nice.
Top. Last guy. White.
I'll kill him.
Nice.
I have time in. Yo, they're gonna be right heavy.
Helping your
They're gonna be right heavy. Bottom gym.
I have right cross.
Yo, and top in bottom gym.
Right dead.
That's fine. I have the right.
Right dead. We'll go piano. I don't see him. Piano.
Shit off. I got you. I push up the right. Shit off. Push up the right. They're gonna be up there. Yo, P1 dead. On me now.
I'm coming into you. I'm bumping into you.
Yo, two new.
Shit on.
Nice. Kleenex was one shot.
Outer dead.
Nice. Go.
Dead. What's at the back? 3-4. Okay, I have new.
He's still there.
Yo, I pushed out their front.
I got somebody.
I'm sitting there close.
Yo,
I have ownership. Check it. Their side lights.
bottom
Their
gym,
side lights.
two gym side. One's P1, one's
That was a
gym.
crazy
Which
check
side
from
are you?
Kleenex.
Other guy was lights. I flipped behind him. Beam just deep out here. 2 on time. One was girl and one was time.
What's it got me? Sorry.
We have split. Stay left.
Yo, what's that close up? You guys close up.
He's one shot.
I'm trying the shit.
It's beans.
Ball bank. On time.
Alright, Kleenex one shot there.
On the heady. They spawn long.
Yeah, they are. Hard play live. I'm gonna shot front.
Inside.
You wanna chop front?
So weak front. On the right. Oh, it's Inner Joe.
Other one time.
Watch out this side.
On the burden. Nice.
Go. I need myself. Watch out.
Pushing my U.
They're already there.
I have gym. I have your mid. Someone grab
I have your inner.
All right, that's gonna do it for the listening. A lot of people got shit on during that listening.
yeah, a lot of people.
You know,
A lot of deads, a lot of shit-ons.
Bro, they were definitely feeling it, bro. Every player in the flow state, everybody calming, everybody getting involved. You guys talk about Shotzi blacking out, but bro, I'm telling you, I hear everybody now. It seems like everybody's talking. Everybody's kind of getting involved and being a part of the team. It was good to hear from Optic. But any other final thoughts? Any other thoughts, guys? With Optic and Toronto? All right,
Sure.
Optic in Boston or Optic in Toronto, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the bracket and see where we're at. So we got Boston Breach and Optic Texas in the winners final. Winner tomorrow will be going to the grand final, which will be played on Sunday. Every match from here on out will be played tomorrow except for the grand final. We have one match on Sunday. It's going to be just the grand final. And then you can see the elimination round 2. Losers round 2, we have Toronto going up against Vancouver, and we have Atlanta FaZe going up against Miami. So, man, we got some fucking bangers tomorrow. This is going to be a good one. I'll start things off. Let's start with the losers bracket, and we'll end with the winners final. We got Atlanta FaZe going up against Miami. Who do you guys got? I'll go with Atlanta FaZe, obviously. Who do you got, Sam?
This is actually a hard one. I'm gonna go FaZe.
I have a FaZe Optic grand final. That's what I have. I have a FaZe Optic grand final.
It'll be fucking
I do too for the
cinema.
storylines, but I'm not going to predict that in my predictions.
Okay,
you FaZe or Miami?
so what are you
Oh,
predicting?
sorry, I got Heretics, but it would be cinema to have both of them in the finals, Optic and FaZe. But I'm going to say Heretics.
Mm-hmm. Sam, did you said who?
FaZe.
You got FaZe?
Yep.
Benjay?
FaZe game 5 round 11, bro.
Pat?
FaZe 3-1.
FaZe 3-1. All right, and then we got Vancouver going up against Toronto. I am going with Vancouver in that one. I think Vancouver. I like what I'm seeing from Vancouver, and I don't like what I'm seeing from Toronto. So I just think Vancouver's looking good headed into the event. I think Nasty's going to be feeling a little bit better tomorrow, too. I got the Vancouver boys. They look good right now. I think Rambo Ray got these guys prepped and got these guys prepared. I think they're ready for this. I think they're ready for the moment. They've obviously had some close calls this year of maybe getting a major under their belts. And I think these guys want to make a run and you know, show people that they can play. So I got Vancouver. I can see FaZe playing Vancouver 100%. And I'll be honest, if FaZe does play Vancouver, I'm worried about that match because that's a bad matchup for FaZe. They've never matched up well against Vancouver. But what about you, Sam? Who do you got?
I got Ultra bounce back. Jamie Insight 1.2.
Duarte,
I got Surge.
Benji,
I got Surge. I'm sorry. Toronto looked terrible this fucking event.
the Slayer.
I agree with Sam. I think Toronto wins this.
You got Toronto?
Yeah.
All right, and then we obviously don't know what the fuck's going to happen in losers, so we don't need to really predict that. But let's predict the winners final. Who do you have going to the grand final? Do you have Optic Texas doing it or Boston Breach? I'm going with Optic. After what I'm seeing from them, I'm going with Optic. Who do you got, Sam?
I'm all aboard the Doug Sensor Martin train, man. I got King, Nice Low, Boston Breach in the finals, man.
Here's a realistic prediction.
Are you
Boston
though?
Breach.
Because Sam,
He's reverse jujuing. He's reverse jujuing.
There's no juju here.
Oh, there's no
I'm
juju.
all aboard the purge.
Okay.
Boston to finals.
What about you, Chris? What about you?
I got Optic.
All right, Benjay.
I got Optic 3-1.
Pat.
I got Boston Game 5, Round 11. Snoop with a 1v3.
You guys Snoopy?
Can you imagine? Yo, that happens, dude. If that happens for them to make champs, unfucking believable.
So you got a round 11
Yo.
Snoopy 1v3s for the winners
Yep.
final, Pat.
Bro,
Oh my
God! If you call
Okay.
that, if you call that, it's the greatest call of all time. All time.
Holy shit. All right, who do you guys think's gonna win the whole tournament? I have no clue. I have no fucking
I
idea.
have no fucking idea. I
Fucking
love
throw
it.
a dart at a
I
fucking
got no fucking
dartboard.
clue.
On some crazy
have
shit, bro.
no idea.
On some crazy shit, we might have had it all wrong. You thought Thieves was making the losers run all the way up to the finals. For some reason, just feeling my jimmies, bro. I think Surge is gonna make it to finals, and I don't know why.
It's a good
The final is
call.
going to be
It's not a bad
Breach
call.
versus Surge, as everyone predicted.
Can you imagine?
Holy shit!
I got FaZe winning it all, and I think it's going to be a super boring blowout final.
You think so? You think FaZe is gonna turn up?
Well, let's hope not, because we want a good final, so we can have.
Well,
a
we already
memorable
lost
chance.
it by fucking Thieves shitting the sheets, bro. Costing us all the FaZe Thieves final.
Sorry, guys.
Damn. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out of here? Anything else?
Nope.
If you live in the Toronto area and you have tickets tomorrow, please show up. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bro. I can't look at a crowd of 12 people
Please,
anymore, man.
Please,
Please.
dude.
Or if anyone in production at the league is here, stop doing crowd pans. Stop it.
Why'd you say
hold
the
on,
Toronto
this is-
area, man?
Stop.
Because anyone that can physically drive the event.
Bro, the best part about fucking Adam
Anyone in the
Adams' tweet
Kitchener area
was
all five
like,
people.
bro, the tweet about like going to the airport, but the best part was that it said 88 kilometers in that Uber screenshot
Yeah,
to
that's
get to
funny.
the airport.
I'll
That's
I'll
crazy.
say this, even though it wasn't full today during that that Optic series was very loud. Like I can't imagine what this building will be like if people are actually in it. So please, if you have tickets, this event is a fucking banger. We have great matches tomorrow. It's 5 matches. Please show up for the love of all things holy.
And also, friendly reminder that the merch is out, guys. Merch is out at ZOOMAFIA.gg. It is the champs drop, so it won't be out for long. So if you do want something, you don't have to get something, but if you do want something, make sure to cop it while you can over at ZOOMA.gg. But as always, guys, before I do go, just again, another update. I will be here for the beginning of the watch party, probably like the first game or two. But then I have a wedding to go to. Kayson's going to be taking over the watch party tomorrow. He'll be on my setup. He's going to take this over. And then Dylan Attach will be taking my spot on the show. So huge shout out to Dylan Attach for hopping on, man. Got a W Attach and a W Kayson in the chat. They didn't have to do that, and they're doing that because they're real ones, and those are my boys right there. So shout out to fucking Dill and Kayson. But yes, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed All right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you watch on YouTube, go to anchor.tv/theflank. Check out audio sites are on. Go follow at The Flank on Twitter. Gert's doing a phenomenal job running socials, and of course, make sure to join the community live X. We're closing in on 25,000 people in there, so make sure to join the community, folks. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, all right? Or you'll see the rest of the close tomorrow. I'll definitely be back for Championship Sunday. All right, so let's close out the weekend strong,
One more.
man.
Rip one more.
Should we rip one more? Should we do it? There's no way. There's no way.
One more.
There is just no way we do it again. There's no way. Hey, go fuck yourself. Let's do one.
We don't end on
more.
shotguns, Tom. One more. We don't end on shotguns.
We never end on shotguns, folks.
One more.
One more because the ZooMAFIA has been absolutely unbelievable. And go fuck yourself. We'll see you guys next 2 days, man. Have a good one. Salute.